Top 5 Overwatch heroes that people will complain about in the moment, but are actually probably fine. 1. Tracer. Let's be honest with ourselves, when we're actually rational, no one really wants Tracer to be bad, and she's never going to be bad. She's the poster girl, and she has a really high skill ceiling. But I know we've all had those moments one time or another where we're just like, that fucking Tracer, piece of shit. And I get it. It doesn't matter if she's 150 HP if you could never hit her in the first place. But if you can't hit the enemy Tracer, one of two things is happening. 1, she's just better than you and her movement is better than your aim. Or 2, you're in a bad matchup and you should probably switch heroes if you want to try and get a better chance at killing her. Moving on to another DPS, my number 2 is Sombra. Now yes, Sombra is annoying. Of course she is. Being hacked or EMP'd never feels good. However, I would like to argue that ever since her rework, her initial fantasy and vision, as the Overwatch devs put it, has been a lot more realized. She functions a lot more like an assassin character, being able to move into the backline, hack and maybe kill one person before needing to use her escape ability and slip out of the fight for a couple of seconds before she can try again. Translocator is nowhere near as good as it used to be, and neither is Stealth. And her ability to easily weave in and out of the backline is balanced by the fact that when she needs to slip out of the fight in order to escape and get her cooldowns back, you're essentially fighting a 4v5. Sombra requires a lot more intelligence and game sense from the Sombra player in order to be effective. Number 3 and the last DPS of this video, Junkrat. He's just not that bad, guys. Junkrat is a character with, yes, a low skill floor, but also a really, really high skill ceiling. Have you ever seen these specialist Junkrat connoisseurs come off the top rope with a steel chair, smack it over the head of the enemy Mercy, and flying away before going beep, 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 beep? Junkrat's fundamental design as a character also means that he has a lot of bad matchups. Tracer screws him over, Pharah screws him over, Echo screws him over, D.Va screws him over. He's only powerful in the right hands, and you getting randomly bombed by a Junkrat grenade means that you weren't paying attention. Moving on to the first tank is Junkrat's partner, Roadhog. The Hog rework has really done wonders for him in making him feel a lot more fair. Roadhog has a lot of damage and kill potential, but he really needs to work for it. He's not blowing people up like he did in Season 1 and Season 2, but he's also not completely useless unless he's facing, say, an Orisa. Who I will go out of the way and say that no, she's not on this list. Complaining about Orisa is the right thing to do, and it's the worst rework the Overwatch devs have made. But back to Hog. He too also has some pretty obvious bad matchups. Orisa I already said, Ana is blatantly obvious, Zarya kind of messes with him. He's very easy to counter. However, none of those counters completely write him off the map, except for maybe Orisa and Ana. Combined, Roadhog is fine, you just need to learn to avoid his hooks better. And the last hero for this list is D.Va. D.Va has been seeing a lot of buffs recently that a lot of people have started to say is a bit too much. I would personally like to say that in any other circumstances, we would probably be teetering on the edge of her being too strong, but tanks in Overwatch 2 need to be strong or they are ass. D.Va is overall very solid and definitely has the least amount of complaints over everyone on this list, that's why I saved her for the end. But one thing a lot of people really like to complain about is Defense Matrix. Defense Matrix is overall a very strong ability, yes, but you burn through it quicker than a sparkler, so you need to manage it properly. D.Va herself is actually pretty frail compared to most tanks. In certain situations, she really needs to lean on DM in order to prevent damage and keep herself alive. So once DM is gone, she's frailer than the sanity of Mercy players. Wait for DM to be done and then just blow her up. It's really that simple. So that's the end of the actual video, but a lot of you might be wondering why I didn't put supports on this list. And that's simply because supports fall into one of two categories. One, people don't complain about them very often, like Lucio. Or two, their complaints are warranted. Bap, Ana, Kiri, Mercy, you heard me. Plus, I'm a support apologist and main in general, so I didn't feel like it was right for me to give supports a pass in this video when I play support the most out of any role. But still, let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments, what you would personally suggest, and let's just have a conversation about it.